Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've made a video. Everything has been crazy here. As you can see, my house is a disaster. Koda had um he got to his bed last night. He's been very stressed out with the move coming up. Um his behaviors are coming out a little bit. He's stressed, so we're dealing with it. We're making it work. Just trying to keep him calm and keep him from destroying everything at this point because he got to a pen yesterday. That was fun. His bed. Luckily, it's stuff that I can fix or clean and replace as opposed to stuff in the house that I'd have to pay for to get fixed. So everything is crazy. I finally have my date that I'm moving out. The movers are going to be here on the 21st of January, and then I hand over the keys on the 29th. So it's nice to kind of have those dates finally. And oh man, it's been crazy just packing and now unpacking, and I'll kind of explain that in a second. So, leading up to this move, everyone was telling us that the military would not move me because I'm not officially on Mark's orders. So, I'm on his orders because I'm in the Exceptional Family Member Program, but in the long run, I'm not going with him overseas. So, generally, the military, from what I'm told, will not move me if I'm not going to where Mark's going. And so for months leading up to it, it was no, they're not going to move you. You have to move yourself, which is kind of a lot, being pregnant and then my parents moving. It was kind of a lot to think that I'd have to move everything. My parents would have to help me. So we were trying to find other options. And so before Mark left to go to Texas, I had him help me pack everything in this house. Like between Mark, me, and my parents, we packed about, I want to say, 80 to 90% of the house was in totes. It was labeled, it was ready to be moved when it was time. And it just kept bothering me. I was like, I haven't really got a straight answer on the military moving me. I called the Fleet and Family Services here in our area. They weren't very helpful. They were working from home, so they didn't really have an answer or a number I could call or a website I could go onto. They weren't, very helpful. But luckily, we have a friend here at our base that we hang out with a lot. His name's Mario, and he had a lot of info. And so he was able to help us. He's like, here, they will move you. Here's the website. You just need to create an account and then fill that out, submit it, and then they'll process it and tell you if they'll move you. And so Mark wasn't here. It took about 2 hours to fill out the application. I knew I did it wrong. Like, I was not confident in myself. I had no idea what I was doing. Filled it out, got a call a couple days later that, what was it? It was they emailed Mark saying, oh, if you had a spouse, we could move you, but if it's just your stuff, we can't do it. And I was really confused. I don't remember putting that Mark didn't have a spouse because I filled it out as him. And I called the guy back immediately. I was like, hey, this is his wife. I filled out the application. I probably did it wrong. I didn't have any faith in myself. I'll own up to that. That was my mistake. I missed something at some point. But he said, yeah, the military will totally move you. They'll move your stuff. You just need to fill out some documents. So that was great. I was super excited. So now it's just been a process of filling out the paperwork, submitting some documents online and everything. So I finally, got in contact with the moving company and I have that date set. But now, because the military is moving me and they kind of have how they want to do things, everything that we have packed going into this now has to be unpacked because they have to do an inventory, I have to do an inventory, and they have to pack it to their standards for liability and everything. So that's great. So everything that's been packed is now getting unpacked, and the house is just, it's a disaster. Everything is being unpacked. Koda is very stressed out. He's confused, and so just trying to tell him just trying to explain to him, I sit there and I talk to Koda, like, okay, there's a lot happening, but you're gonna love it in Texas. There's so much more area, and you'll be able to run around more. But we're making it work. Being pregnant is not helping. I can only help for maybe 20 to 30 minutes before my back pretty much gives out and I'm down for the count for hours. So it's been rough due to some circumstances. Luckily, Mark is here a little longer than originally planned. He should be here for another week with me before he has to head down to training in San Diego. But it's just been wild. It's been a lot dealing with TRICARE and switching my medical, and then moving being about, I'll be almost 6 months pregnant by the time I move. So it's just, me being high risk pregnancy, trying to make sure all that's covered in the process of moving, because it's going to take me and my dad a couple of days to drive to Texas. So that's just a lot, and dealing with housing, making sure everything's settled. So it's been crazy here. It's been a lot. We're just trying to take it day by day at this point. I'm trying not to stress out. It's very hard being pregnant and having everything go on and moving. I don't want to say by myself, because my dad's going to drive me and Mark's helping me, but for a month, I'm kind of doing everything on my own. So just trying to process all that has been a lot, and we're powering through. So that's kind of the update of all the craziness. It's been hard to try and make a video because I don't know where to start. I don't know. Everything's wild. But that's what's going on right now, and I'll keep you guys updated again soon on what's going on. So thanks for listening.